excited that you're here this evening. Really, tonight is just a time for you to be able to hear from some of our incredible administrators on campus, as well as we do have some PacBay students, a couple of our upperclassmen here to share a little bit about their PacBay experience and a couple pieces of encouragement and wisdom as your students are starting to enter the PacBay journey. So thank you so much while you're here. I'm actually going to go ahead and hand it off to our head of school, Dr. Michael Chen, who's going to go ahead and start us off.
Hi everybody, it's so good to see all of you. I want to just give a little brief remark and introduction, and then I'll pray for us for the evening, and then I'll hand the screen to Miss Ho, who's on the docket for the next segment. Hey, I just want to start out by saying we're so excited about this new incoming freshman class that's coming up. We had taken the great care, and I believe, especially the team that Ms. Laucella is leading, had taken the great care to really put together a phenomenal class. So we're very excited about that. But I do want to say this. I'll backtrack a little bit. I want to talk about last Friday. Last Friday was our league championship for the track team. And during that track team, we had so many students. Almost everyone has some sort of a personal best for during that meet. And during that meet, we also had so many students who were able to reach a new height, truly a PacBay history, podiums, medals, and all that stuff, whether it's 200-meter dash or shot put or a mile run, things like that. But what's important, why do I say talk about that? Because that team in track meet, it's really just the kind of illustrating that it's individual pushing individuals' limits, right? And every student is working really, really hard. Every athlete is working really, really hard. You can't get fast if you don't put in the hard work. So you had to put in the hard work. And not only do you have to put in hard work, you have to put in smart work. Smart about it. How do you adjust the way you run? Your running form is not good, or if you think about your split time, things like that. So you can get faster and faster. But during the meet, it was so encouraging to see that the sprinters were coming around the distance runner to cheer them on, and vice versa, or the runners were gathering around Charlize, who's a shot put person, and there to cheer her on. So everybody, even though they're pushing for their personal limits, it was about the community and the team. And so PacBay education for high school especially is that as we go from middle school to high school, middle school, working out that pre-adolescent, angst. But once you get into high school, you will hit the ground running. It is about hard work, but it is also about smart work, and at times can become stressful. But we have a community, and I was talking to the high school students today about why PacBay High School is such a unique and special place is because they come around each other to love on one another, to encourage one another so we can get through the hard time, but we can also celebrate the good time. And that is what, PacBay High School is about. And parents, you're gonna have, you're entering into this new season to support your youngsters as well. And they're gonna, spread their wing, they're gonna, fly and soar, and they're gonna struggle at times, and you're gonna be nervous about it. But guess what? We have a very loving group of adults coming around to support them, and so we're here to really kind of here to support all of our students. Just looking at and we're very rigorous. We're a high college preparatory program, but we're unique in the sense that we're also Christ centered, right? We're here to make sure that God is at the center, and that it is our overflowing of that relationship that we get to like love one another, support one another through this journey. Uh, I know that Miss Ho's not gonna, brag about herself. So I'm gonna brag about her, but also brag about this class, senior class this year. We have 100% four-year university acceptance rate. Incredible, 100%. And not only that, imagine 30 students or 29 seniors. We had two Ivy League acceptances, four Berkeley, UC Berkeley, two UCLA, one University of Notre Dame, we Azusa Pacific, you know, University of Toronto, you name it. Our students are going places, right? And yet, you look at our senior class, they're a peculiar, funny bunch, right? They're humble, they're understated, they are diverse in their unique characteristics and talents, and that is the beauty of PacBay. And we have someone like, this whole expert on college counseling to walk the journey with our seniors and with our juniors, sophomore and freshmen. We also had teachers like Dr. Chagall here, Mr. Mr. Chang here, and all these other teachers who are here to walk our students through the journey. And it is through the hard work collectively, by cheering each other on, that our students get to 4 years from now, get to go to places. So that's something that you have to look forward to, and I'm excited about that. So parents, students, get excited, starting with this course selection, and starting in the fall, and we'll hit the ground running. Okay, let me pray for us. Father God, thank you so much for PacBay, for this place where we gather and we get to do cool things together, and we get to build relationships and friendships, and we get to imagine what a better tomorrow will look like with our young people. And that we have a group of loving students and adults partnering hand in hand, continue to imagine what a better tomorrow would be. So be with us tonight, encourage our students and encourage their parents here on the screen, and may we continue to lift up your glory in all the lives that in the way in which we live our lives. We thank you in Jesus' name. Amen. There's hope.
Good evening, families. My name is Stacy Howe. I'm the Director of College Counseling here at PacBay. I know it's like, why is Ms. Howe talking already? We're just, getting into high school. Why the college talk? I just wanted to come in, as we are talking about course selection for your students' upcoming year. I just wanted to give you, some assurances. First and foremost, if your student is going to be meeting PacBay graduation requirements, for the high school, your student will automatically be hitting the required amount of courses for the UCs, that's the University of California, and the Cal State systems. So I do want to, assure all families before you head into this process, we are a college prep high school. A lot of our courses, actually all of our courses are UC and CSU approved. I've worked at other schools before where, different courses, maybe in religious studies and so forth weren't always approved, but our teachers have worked tremendously hard, with the University of California to make sure all of our courses are UC and CSU approved. As you go through and you select, your courses, and you're going to see, and for incoming ninth graders, there's going to be a little bit less selection. There's going to be a lot of required courses that your student is going to have to take, and every year that they continue on at PacBay, there's going to be more and more choice. Mr. Chan's going to talk a little bit about that a little bit more. I do want to spend a few minutes highlighting, some different aspects of the college counseling program that we offer here. If you can move to the next slide, please. Thank you. So, Dr. Chen already had a little bit of a spoiler. We have a sampling here of some of our colleges that our current senior class have been admitted to, will be attending next year. And, this is not a comprehensive list by any means, but it's just a one that I selected just to kind of help you reflect and be able to see, what a PacBay student looks like, and As we said before, we have 2 Ivy League admittances this year. We have, every single college in the UC system, and a lot of really great, schools like Wheaton College and Scripps and Santa Clara Fordham. You'll see that there are international schools like Toronto. And, we also have community colleges. There's Kenyatta College on here. And, we are going to say, very proudly that we are excited for every student's future. We're not a type of school that's going to only celebrate, if you get into an Ivy League. That's really not what we're about. We're really about student fit, well-being. We really want to embrace each student for where they are and what their goals are, and also respect that every family is different as well and what their goals are and their family finances. And so, as we're looking ahead to college counseling, I wanted just to share a couple of key highlights that you can look forward to in the coming years. And so the formal college counseling process starts in the junior year with college counseling seminar. I continue that through the student's senior year. A lot of our work is also done one-on-one. The nice thing about our size is that it really allows me to get to know each and every student very individually. And then as a result, I'm able to highlight them in the college counseling process through letters of recommendation and making sure that they are personalized and impactful for when colleges sit down and read and get to know your student. We support every step of the way of the college application process, from essays to filling out the apps to demonstrating interest. A lot of that, education piece happens from my department. I know that all families are coming in from different places and spaces. Some have had college for generations in their families, and some are going to be brand new to the system, or perhaps brand new to this country's system. And so I, want to make sure that everybody has a level playing field and everybody understands and has the same vocabulary. I've also been able to just launch a lot of really exciting programs here at PacBay for all of our students. I've been able to, have, entire half the school go on a college tour. This year we had a case studies program where we had 7 different college reps come to our campus and share with our students, the behind the scenes look of what goes on in behind a college decision. We have many college fairs. I've partnered with a university for on-the-spot admissions in the fall. It's really just a fun and exciting place to be. I also invited one of my seniors, Wesley. He'll be joining. He's here on the call right now, just to kind of talk a little bit about what the student experience has been being part of college counseling. Wesley is the student who, as you could see on this, college list right here, he's going to be attending the University of Pennsylvania next year. And a little bit about Wesley. He's a first-generation college student. He happens to also be ASB president, has done a lot of really wonderful things with our speech and debate team. And I don't know if I've ever told you this, Wesley, but one of the things I'm most proud of about you is the work that you've done in California youth courts, not only just locally in your own county, but Wesley has hopped in the car and launched amazing youth court systems in counties that were very remote parts of California, helping them develop their juvenile systems. And I'm just so proud to get to work with Wesley and for him to share a little bit with us tonight. Wesley, if you wouldn't mind unmuting, I would love to hear if you could share with our families here tonight, what maybe is it that you've, gained or learned through the college counseling process and working, really with me over the last year and a half.
Well, thanks so much for the very kind introduction. Miss Ho really toot my horn there, so I feel obliged to do a little bit of tooting for her. Miss Ho is just all around fabulous. She has this unique ability to speak brutal honesty to you, but to do that with grace. And that's the most important part, right? Speaking the truth with grace. It's quite a Christian concept now that I think about it. But anyways. What insights have I learned? So I guess I'll break it down in 3 words. The first is resonance, the second is insight, and the third is understanding. Okay, resonance. I think that what PacBay offers that's very unique is the ability for teachers, for faculty, for administrators more broadly to communicate ideas to students, but to not do that in a very sort of teacher lecturing at you way, but in a more collaborative, conversational, sort of focused direction, and Miss Ho's no different. And so when we go to these college counseling seminars for juniors and seniors, the information, the stuff that's on the slides really resonate with you because she's sort of tailoring that programming to you. That time is for you, and so that's very important. And the other reason why it is particularly why I picked resonance is because, as she mentioned, she works with each person, with each family, and that's very important. Um, for instance, she's spoken to my mom privately several times. Sometimes I'm scared about what they say in these private meetings. But they've had private meetings nonetheless, and they've been very productive. I've had more meetings than I can count. We could probably do with less. But yes, that has been very enjoyable. And that ability to just communicate things to your personalized situation is why I picked resonance. The second is insight. I think that my sophomore year, I had various plans about what I wanted to do. For one reason or another, that was not the plan that God had in store for me, and so He led me somewhere else, to this place far away in that cold place called Pennsylvania. But I'm very excited, and the reason I picked insight is because you really get to have that sort of almost boots on the ground insight into how this college admissions thing works, with all the people she invites from all around the world to talk about this system, to sort of demystify the college admission system. I mean, a lot of the stuff happens in sort of a backroom door in universities, and we never hear of it. But thankfully, we have Miss Ho, so we get a sneak peek into how things work, into how essays go, how financial aid works, the different admissions like processes, timelines, essay writing, letters of recommendation. The list goes on. The third adjective, and I should wrap this up, is understanding. And the reason I picked this is because, in a sense, she's like, an admissions counselor, but in another sense, she's someone who gets to know you personally, who gets to know your student, who gets to know you as a parent, personally, and that's very important. And there's mutual understanding there. You build a relationship with Miss Ho. And I find that very unique because it's not like you're paying for a service. You're being part of a community, and Ms. Ho is part of that community. And so that's what I have. I'm not sure if that's comprehensive enough or you'd like me to elaborate.
Thank you, Wesley. I really appreciate it. I think lots of love both ways. I want to now transition our time to Mr. Chan, our Dean of Academics, for him to go over the course selection process.
Good evening, everyone. I'm excited to just present. It's going to be a lot of information, so you can prepare yourself. But all this information is also available on the resource board in my PacBay. If, as you're listening, you want to log into my PacBay just to kind of see where things are, you can. But I'll go ahead and move to the next slide. Just a reminder, we use this course selection process kind of as a way for you to express the courses you're interested in taking, but we are not able to offer every course. We try to as best we can, but we like to take to hear the voice of the students, to see where their interests are, and we can adjust our schedule a little bit each year, but we are limited based off of our teachers and the amount of time they have to teach in a day. So we'd love to teach them all day, every day in all of the subjects, but we unfortunately cannot. So looking at our curriculum requirements over your journey here at PacBay, we offer Christian Studies courses. We do have a 4-year requirement, so every year take Christian Studies courses. We have also English courses that we went for 4 years, humanities courses, or history courses, math courses, science and world language. If we go to the next one, as Ms. Ho had mentioned, we do exceed the UC requirements. We want to make sure our students are or all the opportunities are available to them. So the second column, the requirements, is what the UC CSU require. We use them kind of as a guideline because they can be kind of I guess, more picky in California of what things they would like. So that's why we go through them and make sure all the courses are approved ahead of time. But if you notice on the third column, these are what we at the school strongly recommend. We exceed the history, English, math, science, other language or the world languages, visual performing arts, and the college prep. We offer a lot of electives in the visual performing arts and college prep elective area because all of our classes qualify as a college prep elective. Basically, so we have or will meet and all the UC requirements. So your child can or it remains eligible no matter what they do when they graduate from PacBay. On the next one, we're just going to look at, in order to graduate, we have 260 credits or units that are required in order to graduate currently. The ninth grade, this is the area you would be looking at, is we require 7 courses be taken during the year. So each semester is broken down. There's a total of 8 total blocks that are available that can be taken, but we want the 9th grade or freshman class to have 7. Some of them are already picked, and some of them you get to elect because we want to make sure there's certain core foundational courses we want you to have. So that's why you don't get to have all electives, but we offer electives that help fill those requirements all throughout. And if you notice, as you get older, you have less required courses and more freedom to choose additional courses, kind of go where your interests are. And as I mentioned before, this course description, the information we're going to give is all on our resource board. So on the next slide, if you look, next one, sorry. All right, and the tile on the top right of your screen will be visible in the resource board. So if you click on that, it'll come to this document that has all the course descriptions that we're going to go through very briefly, but it'll include courses that are outside of the freshman range or not offered to freshmen or available to them. So it gives you an idea of some of the other courses you can look forward to as you get into the upper levels grades. So if we can go back one slide, I want to just take a brief moment to talk about our major distinctive programs. We have 4 different programs that we can offer to your or to the students as well. These are just gives them a little bit deeper experiences into these different areas. So we have a design major, which is more on the arts side of things. We have an engineering major, which focuses more on the engineering and STEM areas. We also have global studies, which allows our students to kind of study the world around them. And then we also have our philosophy major, and I'm excited to have Dr. Chagall here to talk a little bit more about the major or the philosophy major, and then he can go ahead and introduce some of the courses that he offers, teaches himself also as part of the philosophy program.
Hello. So I'll talk briefly about the philosophy program. I'm not going to start with the apologetics. I'll just start with the program itself. All of the programs have requirements, obviously, and the philosophy program has a requirement of 30 credits, and a semester class, just to give you an idea, is worth 5 credits. So there are 30 credits for the philosophy program, and it includes all sorts of classes, including classes that overlap with English and Christian studies. For example, philosophical ethics. There's a film class, film and worldview. I teach several different C.S. Lewis classes, some nonfiction, his Ransom trilogy, and a couple other Lewis classes. We've taught logic, even a class like is highlighted here in this slide, the apologetics class. There's this, and then there's the flip side of this, kind of the anti-apologetics, not against apologetics, but what it looks like from the atheist perspective. So I even teach a class on Friedrich Nietzsche, who's an atheist, to show how that worldview in the end doesn't really make any sense. But anyway, one of the main goals of the philosophy program is to really just to ask questions in the areas that are most fundamental, like metaphysics and epistemology and ethics. Especially ethics is one of the main emphases. Questions, some of them are thought questions like, can God make a rock so big that even he cannot lift it? Others are ethical questions, um, having to do with ethical dilemmas. Can you lie by telling the truth? Things like that. And different questions that are designed to get the students to think deeply about these different areas of philosophy. But then also, really one of the focuses of the philosophy courses is to offer a platform for students to ask questions themselves and to bring up really any question. Like in the apologetics class, it's a perfect opportunity, not just to tell them things, but to field questions and to let there be a lot of student to student interaction, and then obviously interaction with the teacher too. So a couple of the other classes, I won't list all the classes I teach, but we also offer several different world languages, including Biblical Greek or Koine Greek, which has up to 4 different levels that are all UC approved. And so next year we're opening up the program to the Greek 1, and the freshman level is the perfect level to take that class. And it's really good to learn how to interpret the Bible better. And then another thing I'll highlight is the freshman lit and comp classes. So for the 2 semesters, we'll have 4 classes offered. Each students are required to take a class per semester, and they'll have 2 to choose from. And one of the ones that they'll choose from for the first semester is highlighting the Chronicles of Narnia, and then second semester the Arthurian legends. Those are the 2 that I'm teaching, and then there'll be 2 others that they'll have a chance to choose from as well. So that's just a few of the things that I kind of have my hands in.
Thank you, Dr. Shagel. It's exciting. The philosophy, a lot of students find a lot of interest because when you're learning, you ask a lot of good questions. And Dr. Shagel challenges and asks some great questions for the students that even challenge us as the staff. Sometimes they'll throw it in our PDs and we're like, huh. So we can go ahead and move forward to a few more slides. Couple more, 2 more. 1 more. There you go. And this is the last one was the freshman English. So like I was saying, we like to offer our students some choices, some electives. As freshmen, typically there is a freshman English, but we wanted to give the students an opportunity to explore the freshman English in different kind of flavors, different arenas. So Dr. Shagel is doing one called Arthurian legend as a freshman one. And then the next one, we also have poetry and short stories on the so these are kind of 2 different ways the students in the freshman class or freshmen, as you're listening, can choose how you want to kind of experience your first semester of English. Would you like it through Arthurian legend or through poetry and short stories? And then this next one is kind of a fun a course. A lot of students, we introduced a course like it this year, Introduction to Digital Media Production. Here, students can choose or learn the skills needed to create short films, do studio broadcasts, do some fun projects, and learn some practical skills in this digital era. So it's kind of a fun elective that can be chosen. Another English one is Reading with Wendell Berry. That students can learn and read through an author and kind of experience. We also have, this is a great skill, public speaking. This is a popular one for students, even though public speaking can sometimes be the greatest fear for some. We want students to learn how to be able to conquer that fear and express themselves publicly. So that's an elective they can choose as well. The visual and fine arts area, we have a variety of areas that students can select. So as freshmen, you can choose ceramics 1, learning how to do like the introduction to clay, using clay. We have a furnace thing. I forget what it's called now. Sorry, it's late on a Monday. We have one of those that the students can, when they create their clay creations, we can fire it. We can fire it, and then they can decorate it, and as their art projects, they get to display them throughout the year as well, and just learn kind of the basic skills. As a freshman year, they can choose that, and once you complete that, then in the future you can do ceramics too. Art Foundation is a great way to kind of be introduced to the variety of mediums that you use as an artist. So you go through a different one. So it's a great introductory course to the visual arts. Then as you get a little more experience with that, you can go into the digital and graphic design, where you get to use some of the technology, our teacher uses a lot of the Adobe products. So you can learn how to use Photoshop, Illustrator, and kind of have fun with the creative technologies we have. And then a lot of students like to use contemporary photography. So our phones take great pictures, but then they learn the concepts behind how to take a great picture. It's not just using your phone, but in this one, they actually recommend having a digital SLR, so you can actually expand and kind of experience the full realm of visual photography. And then the advanced art is what you'll have to take a little bit later, but these are kind of the visual art classes that are available. So we'll quickly go through a couple of slides. I just want to point out all the photos on these slides. Maybe go back a little bit slower. All these photos on the slides are artwork created by our students. So this is in the Ceramics 1 class. Some artwork, we can go to the next one now. And then our foundations of these drawings and these cube creations are all done by our students. And it's kind of highlighting the things that they learn in our classes. Next one, how they use our digital tools to create these kind of fun and visually inspiring pieces. The next one, photography, learning how to do photography, stop caption or stop motion, photography, and just composition. And then this last one is theater arts. So we do have a theater arts program that's the freshmen can participate in. This year we just did a performance of Wendy. So they just did it a couple weeks ago. So students put a lot of time into it. It is a full year course. So they take the first half of the year to kind of learn the basics, and then they apply that in the second semester. All right, then we'll move into some of our STEM area. Math, we offer all of our maths. We go all the way up through AP Calc, BC, and AP Statistics. But as freshmen, you will get to choose kind of where you're going to start. We will take into account kind of where you're coming from, and then make sure you're placed in the correct one. So you're challenged, but your teachers are there to help make sure you also succeed. So we offer all the variety of maths. Our sciences, this California coastal ecology is open to our freshmen, learning more about the unique place we live in California along the coast, and just kind of being able to experience and learn more about kind of the nature around us. We also, part of our STEM or engineering distinctive program, we have Intro to Engineering that freshmen can take. Freshmen and sophomores, sometimes the sophomores are still deciding, and they can take this as well. It's just really to expose you to as many different types of engineering as possible. Sometimes we grow up thinking there's only one type of engineering, but there's so many. So our teacher, Dr. Tang, kind of introduces you and kind of gives you a flavor of many different types. So you can kind of see if there's an area that you'd like to go deeper into. Also, a fun one we offer is robotics and automation. This one, you just get to play with things. So if you like to tinker and play, this is a great one. You learn some basic coding. So it's just a fun way if you like to build things, class to have. And as Dr. Shargel mentioned at the beginning, we do have a variety of world languages available. We have Mandarin, Spanish, French, Latin, and Koine Greek. So this is a great place to kind of explore. As way long time ago in the slides, we too ask, as a requirement for UC and many colleges, you need only 2 years of a language. That's the same foreign language, but we do encourage students to take more. It's not just for the college requirement, but it does give you a good foundation as a student to be ready for whatever you have after. It's always nice to have that second language, at least an exposure to it. If you talk to any of our language teachers, well, the I guess modern languages, they want to make sure that you can actually speak it as best and be able to participate. So you have a very good foundation to participate. The Latin is a very good, if you talk to Dr. Rodoni, this will give you a very good core structure and be able to analyze the English language, even though Latin is a different language. A lot of our sciences are based on Latin, and a lot of our words are based on Latin, so it's a good foundation as well. And if you like to dig deeper into the scriptures, the Bible, and then Dr. Shargel could probably give you other things that you can use Koine Greek for, but this is a good study, so you learn how to study using both the Latin and the Greek. All right, so that was a lot of information. Again, all this is available for you in the resource board for the course description, but I don't want you to be overloaded, so I'd like to hear from one of our students as well. Zita is a multi-sport athlete. I've gotten to know her over the years. She is one of our talented student leaders, very persistent and very detail oriented. So she has planned a lot of events, taking on herself to make sure the whole student body has a good experience, a memorable experience in her time as she's been here. She has been our student council secretary and is our vice president. So Zita, welcome, and you are a super good student as well, very conscientious, and you've chosen in some very difficult course load. So can you share with our families any wisdom in choosing courses with a balance in mind?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chan. So one of the first things I would consider when like choosing classes is definitely considering my schedule. For me, because I do have extracurriculars like sports, or if you have any like outside obligations, I would definitely consider like what season your sport is during. So you can either decide to take like more classes during one semester and like less during another. Like for me, I know I have volleyball during the fall season, so I know like my first semester would be a little bit more heavy than my second semester. Another piece of advice I have is to just take classes you're interested in, and also with that, like have a mix of challenging classes, like AP classes. This is more towards like for the upper division, but also like in sophomores, you can as sophomore year you can take AP classes. So in me taking more of the challenging classes, I've definitely learned to like manage my time better, and just I've just been able to learn like a lot of things. So some of the classes that kind of just stuck out to me for lower classmen are like biology and art foundations. Biology was like a really interesting science course for me, and like the teacher made it like really amazing. So I also like had an interest for biology. And I also took art foundations for my freshman year. And even though like I'm not the best at art, it's just a good way to like dip my feet into it, and just like that really like showed where like brought out my creativity. And in taking like more of like when you're an upperclassman, I think I like that because you have more freedom in taking classes. So I would definitely recommend taking classes you are interested in and that like might help you in your future. An example is AP statistics. So a little bit before that, I've been managing like the boys and girls basketball team, like doing statistics. And I found out that junior year that could be a possibility for a class. So I took that class and I really enjoyed it. And like that's kind of what led me towards like what I'm majoring in now in college. So I'm gonna be a stats major. And yeah.
Thank you. That's great. I love hearing STEM. I'm a STEM teacher too. So I love that, Zita, you're going to pursue math some more. So Zita will be available at the end as well to answer any questions. So it'd be a good time if you have questions for the students you can ask. We're going to move into actually how do you select your courses. So we have had a blast of what the courses are. I want to just show you quickly how to navigate our My PacBay system. So parents, you'll see the top screen. You're going to look and you can actually, when you log in, you actually, if you have more than one student here, you need to select your student first. Then you want to look at the courses. Then you can find that course request in the when you click on it, it'll be turned blue. And students, if you're looking at for a course request, when you log in, it'll be the bar underneath kind of your schedule or a calendar and things. There should be something called course requests. Okay, and once you click on that, then the screen will show you kind of like this information you see at the bottom. And then once you scroll down a little bit, we'll go to the next slide. You'll have an option to look at all the courses on the left. On the right side, it'll show what courses are there. You'll notice as a freshman, you already have biology, Intro to Old Testament, and Ancient Civilizations already approved and selected for you. Those are core courses that all freshmen will need to take. So you don't get to choose those. It'll already be chosen for you. But on the left side, the available courses, sometimes there'll be a lot of courses. A lot of them may not be available to the freshmen. So if you click on the filter button, and then we can go then click one more time, then this screen will pop up. And on this screen, you'll want to select 9th grade, and then you can apply the filter. Okay, when you do that, then the available courses will only be those available for freshmen. So we can go to the next slide. And then when you click on that, then you can, if you select any of the courses, so like I selected ceramics here, the window on the right will show up and I'll show you kind of a description in the system that is there. If you scroll down on the window on the right, then we can go to the next slide. At the very bottom, you can click on the add course request. If you have a note, like you want to know what is this, or you have questions, you can put in the notes. But when you click on the add course request, we can go to the next screen. It'll show up on the right side under my requests. So that original screen, the left side I cut out, but that's the list of courses. On the right side, I'll show your requests. So you notice the Intro to Old Testament still there, the Ancient Civilization. But if you go right above it was, or at the top, is ceramics. So that was the one that was added. If you click on the arrow down, since this is kind of an idea of what we're interested in, or get an idea of what you're interested in, if you click on the next screen, and imagine we're clicking on that down arrow, it brings up this one where you can add an alternate. So sometimes either based on the schedule, the course may or not fit within your schedule. You can add an alternate course. And from there, if you click on that, then you'll be able to type in the name of a course, and then you can add it there. And it'll show up on our system. So we'll know what your kind of first choice is. And if that doesn't fit in your schedule, what your second choice is. So we do ask that if you select a course, you can add an alternate so we know which other ones you might be interested in. Now, if you wanted to add more courses, you can do the same. You can go back, just click on the course, and then add it into your roster. Okay. Again, our goal is to have at least 7 courses selected on the right. You can fit no more than 8 in a day. So you can, if you're not sure, you can just add a bunch of them. Some students add, 9 or 10 instead of using it as an alternate, and that's fine. But if instead of say ceramics, you want to do art foundations, that would be a good way to kind of put it as ceramics first, add alternate art foundations. All right. I know we're flying through this. One thing we can go back, that arrow is pointing to, you can actually change the priority of some of your priority of some of your interests as well by clicking the arrow and kind of dragging it up and down. So if you have more than one course selected or requested, you can kind of rearrange the order and it'll show us kind of like which order you like, kind of at the high level of courses. Okay. Again, just to remind you, we do have, yes, we can go to the next slide. We do ask that all freshmen take and select at least 7 courses this first semester. And again, you're selecting, most of your courses that you're selecting as a freshman are going to be year-long courses, but like your English course is only a semester long. So we will get to repeat this process in the second, or usually around November-ish, where you get to pick your courses for a second semester. But as freshmen, I believe you may have only the English course you can select this year, and you'll get to choose more in the following years. If you select some of the other elective classes, might only be 1 semester as well. So it should show up in the system. If you have any questions, feel free. You can email or ask me or Ms. Laucella, or if you see or want to ask students later, you can do that. Students that are not freshmen, there are other courses that are available, and Ms. Laucella and I will be happy to meet with you outside of this meeting to kind of just go over other options you have as a transfer student in. So next, we're going to be moving into the athletics. I know that was a whirlwind of academics, so you can peruse, and then we can move into our athletics is Mrs. Thorne join us?
Why, hello. Welcome to this space. I feel like I'm just bouncing around everywhere. I just came out of our meeting for the CCS. You'll see pictured here is our track and field team. Pretty exciting news. We have 3 of our student athletes that have qualified for the CCS. This is the first time that they have qualified to that next level. We have 2 of them that will be running in the 100, and then another that will be running or doing the shot put. So pretty exciting. And then we have also featured below is our volleyball team. We offer a pretty comprehensive sports program for our small school. I think what is exciting about our program is that all our students get the opportunity. I know I went to a big high school, and when I participated, it was really tough to make those sports teams. My freshman year, I went out for girls basketball and there was 60 girls trying out for 15 spots. So what you're going to get here is you're going to get an opportunity. The kids are going to have to work hard. It doesn't mean they're going to get playing time. It means they're going to get the opportunity to be part of the team, and they're going to have to really work hard to get that playing time on the team. But we offer in the fall season the cross country. We have a beautiful cross country course that is here on campus. And we run in the PSAL with a lot of other schools, have amazing meets. And then we have volleyball for the girls, and then we have soccer. And then you move into our winter sports, and that is your basketball. And then in the spring season is our softball, baseball, and then our track and field, which is actually taken off. That has been our #1 popular sport for the kids. We had a team of about 20 this year, and the meets were absolutely phenomenal. And the celebration of our kids and seeing what they did out there in each meet, it was amazing to see them PRing. I even was able to recruit our head of school, who was a former track coach, who is a sprinter coach, to come join us. And it was just a big, beautiful community event. I remember looking out at the field. I was out there doing announcing, and I looked over and I saw, we had 4 of our boys out there running the 1,600 meters. And I looked over to where our tent was set up, and the parents and our students, they were all cheering. And I was excited for our kids that were actually running, but I was more excited for the amount of spirit we had outside and the cheering for those athletes. So I'm excited for next year in our sports program. There is, during the summertime, something you need to stay tuned to is getting your sports physical. There is an annual requirement not put on by our school, but by the CIF, that requires for you to have a sports physical completed. So please make sure you get that scheduled now, because those can get booked up pretty quickly. And we can share that paperwork for you to get complete. But please start getting those booked so you can get your sports physical in by the beginning of the school year. And then during the summertime, we'll offer different times where we can do opportunities of training. And then the school year, it will start pretty soon with the fall sports on kicking off for those seasons. And more information will follow with a sports course and more details. But thank you guys for being here tonight. And I'm excited to be working with your children come in the summer and in our fall season. Thank you.
Awesome. And I also thank you so much, Mrs. Thorne. Mrs. Thorne is our Dean of Athletics. She is also our Dean of Middle School. She does it all. And we do have one of our student athletes here as well. Nathan Shargell is a junior this year. He is actually Nathan, you play multiple sports. He's on our track and field team. He plays soccer. So Nathan, I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit. As a student athlete, I guess I'm curious, what would you and or your friends, what have y'all enjoyed about the PacBay athletic experience?
Yeah, one of the things that I enjoy most about the experience is that it's a very joyful environment. It's not like a lot of times when you think of sports, you think of your coach yelling at you to do this, but that's not what it's like at PacBay. It's much more positive reinforcement about and it's an environment where everybody just comes together and has a good time while pushing yourself to be the best athlete that you can be. And it's a good place, in my opinion, to get outside of your comfort zone. For example, my freshman year, I had never played baseball ever. The most I'd played was at recess during elementary school. But in my freshman year of high school, I signed up for the baseball team because I knew that it was going to be fun, even if I didn't know what I was doing. It was still a fun way to learn a lot about the sport and have a good time with my friends. And it was, I think, in the end, worth it and a great experience. I also played basketball freshman and sophomore year, and I did join the track team, which, like and mentioned, has been like a super awesome experience, super encouraging. Like, we're all at the track meets and we're all like cheering each other on, and it's a very joyful and like amazing experience.
Thanks, Nathan. Appreciate it. And y'all will see Nathan next year. He'll be a senior, so you'll definitely have a friendly face around. Zita and Wesley are off to further adventures, but Nathan, you will certainly see on campus. So families, that does bring us to kind of just a couple minutes for a Q&A session. Also happy to stay a couple minutes over as long as y'all want to. If you need to head out, we totally understand. But just want to open it up if anyone has any questions. Our students are still online if you'd like to ask a student a specific question. Our Dean of Academics is here, our Dean of Athletics. So if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. I'll be looking at that, or you can also unmute your microphone, whichever works best for you. Okay. Oh, hi.
Hi, this is Lisette. I had a question. Is there a certain time by when the kids need to choose their courses?
Great question. I realized I did not put that on the slides. You have this whole week. We asked that they be done, if you can, through by Sunday, end of Sunday. If you need more time, just let me know, and we can always open the window a little bit longer. But this gives us a little more time to, if everyone is completed, to be able to kind of start looking at the schedule for next year. Yes, deadline, try to get it done this week through the weekend.
Thank you, Mr. Chan. And I also have a question in the chat here. How might families know which math class students should register for?
Great question. I'll take that one too. Basically, if you look at the math you're in now, if you're not sure as a middle school, 8th grade, you can sign up for an Algebra 1. We can do a placement test as well. You can just put it as a placeholder, or if you're like, oh no, the algebra stuff, I think I got, my school named it something different. We can always do a placement test over the summer to kind of like ensure you're at the right spot. If you're ready now and you'd like to do the placement test earlier, we can schedule a time to take that placement earlier. But if you want the summer to just kind of let it marinate, maybe grow a little bit more, you can strengthen it, then you can come back at the beginning of the school year. We have orientation when school starts, that first day. So that'd be a good day to kind of plan a placement test as well. Sometime during that first day back. I think it's is it Monday, August
The 11th or the 12th, I believe.
12th, August 12th.
Just a reminder too, I know we have a couple students online who are coming into potentially 10th or 11th grade. Absolutely, we'll be happy to meet with you outside of this time. Ms. Ho will take a look at your transcript as well to make sure that you're on track, as well as Mr. Chan and myself. I also have a question for Ms. Thorne. Can a student do 2 sports simultaneously? For example, 2 fall sports like soccer and cross country. Would that be possible?
Yes, I've actually had a few kids do that. It just depends on the training side. They'll typically do the training for the soccer, and then they would participate in the meets for the cross country. As long as we'd have to look at the game schedule to make sure it's not any impact games for the soccer side of it. So
One other question, if we need to get that physical done, do we just do that through our Sebastian's doctor, or is that done through the school, or how does that work?
great question. It'll be done through your primary care doctor. Dignity Health also offers pretty much same day appointments, and I think they're about $45 was their cost last year. I'm not sure if they're going up in price as everything else seems to be going up. So that's another option that you could potentially look at. But we will send out the specific form, but it's a clearance form for the doctor that they would complete.
Ms. Thorne, another question about athletics for you. Is there an opportunity for kids to practice basketball in the gym in the fall before basketball season starts?
Well, I am a big basketball fan myself, but I do know that our volleyball takes over the gymnasium. We have specific guidelines and rules that we also have to follow within the umbrella of CCS. So we could offer potentially open gyms, but as far as individual training and team training, that cannot happen only within certain windows. And that is held to for all high schools within the state of California. So when you hit the California CIF rules, there is a huge book of rules that we have to follow. So there will be potentially some open gyms, but we'll make sure we give some opportunity, just won't be an intense practice time, so.
And also the sports physical. I'm happy to, I will share this recording of this meeting as well as that sports physical with y'all tomorrow as well. So you have that in your hands. I'm not seeing any other questions come through. It looks like it's about 7:30 and I want to be respectful of your time. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. It was great to see all of you here. Again, this was a lot of information. We want to make sure that you have it, but also, again, we recorded this, so feel free to watch it through if you need again. Mr. Chan and myself are also super available and happy to have a individual Zoom meeting with you, or if you want to schedule a meeting to come on campus to choose courses, we're also happy to do that with you. But thank you so much for your time. It was great to see you all. Have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you soon.